Well, we've had a taste of everything over the course of May 2012 so far. We've seen snow, frost, record cold, record rainfall, and even the warmest temperatures in 6 weeks. We've seen a 21.1 Celsius reading at Norwich Airport in Norfolk yesterday. But we are going to see a tale of two halves over the upcoming weekend as high pressure builds in at the surface over the UK and Ireland. That will suppress any rainfall. It will encourage sunshine to develop. And yes, we're going to be seeing temperatures boost up towards 12 or 13 across Scotland and the north of England, after temperatures struggling in the past couple of days to no higher than 7 or 8 Celsius. It's been chilly, it's been very wet, and it's been a pretty windy past couple of days as well. That stinging northeasterly wind yesterday transferred to a more northwesterly flow over the course of today, and that actually produced some snowfall just south of Inverness up across Slough Summit in the Cairngorm, the northern half of the Cairngorm Mountains. We also seen snow cover the Cumbrian Fells as well. So it's been a dramatic month of May. Certainly the past couple of days we've seen snow in several places across the Highlands, down across parts of northeast England as well. And even last weekend I was driving down the M74, the truck temperature was reading -6 Celsius, that was 21 in Fahrenheit. So remarkable weather, that's for sure, across parts of the UK. And we have seen, of course, very wet conditions. So much so that we've seen some areas of England lift the drought situation, which is good news, of course. Down across parts of Iberia, we're seeing very hot conditions as well. Temperatures boosting 100 for the second day across southern portions of the continent, across southwestern Iberia. And that heat, of course, is getting transferred through central and eastern parts of Europe, like you can see here in the map. But the main trough continues to rule the roost across the northwestern part of the continent. And unfortunately, folks, for the next couple of weeks, I see no evidence of change in this pattern. And I'll show you that in a couple of seconds here. But let's have a quick look at the surface chart of the GFS. This is off the Meteo Group website. You can see the area of low pressure now pushing through Scandinavia. As it does so, it's leaving room here for this area of ridging to take place. That, like I said, will support more in the way of sunshine. We are going to see some showers developing. They will push in through the west, central and eastern portions of Scotland. Less showers across England and Wales tomorrow, and there will be a breeze blowing out of the west. Unfortunately, there is change yet again. By Sunday, we're going to see yet another system pushing through. Let's skip through. You can see the surface chart changing. High pressure over the next 24 hours is going to produce very fine settled conditions. And of course, clear skies, light winds at night, cold aloft. That will support rural ground frost, where the winds remain light. If there's a slight breeze blowing, you're going to stay above freezing and frost free. But yes, it's still the chance of frost. Yet we're really approaching the midpoint of May now, so it is quite impressive to see this magnitude of cold at night, with nights much longer than they were a month or so ago. Let's have a quick look, and you can see here 42 hours. 48 hours. This is during the day on Saturday. An area of low pressure down to 982 in millibars, pushing just south, pressing eastwards just south of Iceland. But although the area of low pressure itself is nowhere near Scotland, it's close enough that isobars tightly packed together. That will produce strong to gale force southwesterly winds during and into the day on Sunday. So starting off, you know, breezy with a stiffening of that wind. But as the day progresses, folks, expect gale force southwesterly winds, potentially right across Scotland and even the north of England. And it will be windy. 60 hours from now, you can see how the isobars tighten up and further south through the Midlands of England. But I really do think that while we see a very wet and windy day across Northern Ireland, the northern and western half of the Republic, down through the north of England as well, while we see wet and very windy conditions, it looks as if it's going to be drier and warmer from say Birmingham southwards. We're going to be seeing temperatures 17, even perhaps 18 during the afternoon Sunday, while up across Scotland we struggle to see temperatures above 8 or 9 Celsius. So it's going to be a wet and windy day across the northern and central portions of the UK during Sunday, after a fine and settled day during the day tomorrow. But let's have a quick look at the upper level chart of this ECMWF for the next few days. You can see here that after this system pushes through Sunday, we have that trough reinforcing itself down across the UK. More settled conditions, surface high pressure once again fills in after this system kicks out now, and we will see more in the way of cooler daytime highs, but something similar to what we see tomorrow. This is by Tuesday, by the way. After the mess pushes through Sunday and into Monday, we see high pressure once again building in, so more settled conditions, and yet again the risk of frost overnight during, perhaps Tuesday night and perhaps Wednesday night as well. But you can see that here the heat remains over southern and central portions of Spain. By Wednesday, you can see that here. The heat really strong over Iberia, and yet look at the UK and Ireland. Disappointment. That mean trough remains overhead. I just see no change in this pattern, folks, for pretty much the rest of this month. Now, the only exception could be that we'll start to see a change in the pattern by the very end of the month, perhaps the last 5 or 6 days, perhaps, of the month of May. We may see a change, but unfortunately I see no change in the foreseeable future across the UK. Notice how the cooler conditions across central portions of Europe, the heat remains over Kiev up through Moscow as well. That region of high pressure is still in control thanks to this ridge, or should I say this trough over western parts of Europe. But let's skip ahead to Thursday of next week, and you can see here the heat starting to get deflected eastwards into the Mediterranean basin as the trough over the UK starts to drop further south. By Friday, you can see here the heat really easing, but look at that there, folks. The trough is really establishing itself. It's deepening over western portions of Europe. That, of course, will eventually kick the heat eastwards into the central portions of the Mediterranean. Could be talking about very warm conditions across Italy by the latter part of next week. So we've got a fine day in store during the day tomorrow, after some frost in places tonight, and then the next system will push just south of Iceland during the day on Sunday. Pressure down to 982 according to the GFS, and that will produce strong to gale force southwesterly winds accompanied by heavy rain across Scotland, the north of England, Northern Ireland and the north of the Republic as well during Sunday. After that system pushes through, high pressure re-establishes itself probably later Monday, Tuesday, perhaps into Wednesday as well. Overnight frost once again potentially, and the pattern just continues on. Keep checking back to my blog, follow me on Facebook, Twitter if you haven't already done so, and I'll keep you up to date as much as possible. Bye for now.